by providing these in all the polling places, at a base level, when somebody checks in, rather than having to flip through a paper roster to find their name, sign the roster, and check in and identify what ballot they should receive, we would now be using these iPads, these electronic poll books, to find the person, have them sign electronically. Will help us. As we understand the functionality, granted, once this contract is approved, we'll sit down with the vendor over the next month and work out the workflows, what we can put into place and what we can train our poll workers on for the March election. But as we understand their capability, they will allow somebody to finger sign, check in, which will allow us to immediately have a record of their voter history, as opposed to having to do it later with scanning the paper copies. It should speed up the check-in process. The other functionality that we understand it has is that a voter, if they go to the wrong polling place right now, under our current way we serve those voters, is that if somebody happens to be in the city but at the wrong polling place, our poll workers have maps, vicinity maps of the city or the area that has the different precincts divided out. We ask the voter to point where on the map they live, which then identifies what ballot type we should give them. All of this will now be available on the e-poll book. We won't have to have people pointing at maps. We'll be able to potentially give people the correct ballot. If we don't have that ballot in stock, printed copies of that ballot, then we would direct them to the ballot marking device, which will have all ballot types on it to serve that person. So we believe, assuming that we can make this functionality work in March, that it will reduce the number of provisional ballots that we will have to process during the canvass period. So in addition to providing, we believe, to provide the best way to provide conditional voter registration to allow people to register at the polling place and give them a ballot, we also believe it will have other benefits to improve the voting experience and the efficiency of our polling places.
This is a bit of a voyage that we embarked on, I want to say, 15 years ago.
Okay.
And I believe then Secretary of State Brown kind of put the kibosh on all of this electronic magic, if you will, in trying to alleviate the burden that we have during the voting, the very short voting 24 hours. The fact is that I want to make sure that we do everything to ensure the integrity, that the people have the security and the safety and the belief that whatever are the election outcomes are looked upon with integrity and transparency, that then puts this county up, very much in the forefront, in the leadership position. This is not going to be easy. As I said, we've tried before, and there were a great deal of glitches, and consequently, and we lost a lot of money, great deal of money with the electronic voting machines that we had already purchased back then, and wanting to ensure that you have everything at your disposal that you're going to need to be successful.
No, and I appreciate that, Madam Supervisor, and I want to let the board know that many departments have been very supportive of helping us be successful in this project, in this replacement project, from purchasing to county council, who worked with us through this weekend and yesterday to finalize this contract with KnowINK. The other thing I'll tell in terms of the integrity of elections to just keep in mind is that the difference to what happened previously, where the county purchased electronic voting machines, touchscreen voting machines. The new system still is based on paper. We're still going to be mailing paper ballots to people who are permanent mail ballot voters. People who come to the polling places the first option will be to receive a paper ballot. Those voters who happen to have a disability and would request assistance with voting that can't easily vote on a paper ballot, we will then direct them to the ballot marking device, which itself, while it's a touchscreen tablet that helps them vote, it prints a paper ballot which gets put in the ballot box. So there's still paper trail. There's still, for auditing purposes to ensure the integrity and the vote. And during the canvass period, we randomly hand count a certain percentage, making sure every contest on the ballot, a certain percentage of those ballots are hand counted to compare the hand count totals to the machine counts. And so there's a number of processes in place that are there to ensure that the count is accurate and there's integrity in the election.